Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a delightfully great and new take on the character. The movie is absolutely amazing, and it's so full of incredible details and little things that are so cool. On top of that, story and the animation are some of the best I've ever seen, so if you haven't seen the movie already, I highly recommend going and seeing it. But today I want to take a closer look at a handful of details you may have missed while watching the film, as it has a ton of references and Easter eggs that are briefly on screen and are easily missable. So spoiler alert for those who have not seen the film yet, jump away from this video right now and come back to it after you watch the movie. But with that out of the way, guys, let's jump right in. During the introduction sequence, we get to see a ton of references to previous Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. Of course, we see the upside down famous kiss with MJ. We see him stopping a runaway train, which we saw in Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. A few other things right there with Tobey Maguire movie references. They also poke fun at his cringy dancing scene from that film, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. One of the worst Spider-Man moments of all time, in my opinion. I love that they poke fun at that. Later, one of the biggest reveals in the film was that Miles' uncle, who he loves, is actually the bad guy, the Prowler. But if you were paying close enough attention earlier in the film, the signs were all over that that's who he was. Check out this artwork in his apartment that even spells out the word Prowler and in a weird lettering. He's also wearing a shirt with a giant cat on it. It's pretty subtle foreshadowing, but it's really well done. A bit farther into the movie, we see Miles scrolling through his phone, and we see loads of contact names, some of which are actually pretty important, like B. Bendis and Sarah Percelli, who are the co-creators of Miles Morales' character. Pretty easy to miss those, but super cool that they were actually able to include those two in the film. A little bit later on, when Kingpin fires the collider, we see a diagram of all the dimensions that are coming together. We see E1610 in the center, and then we see E90214 and E8311, along with a few others. Another small detail that, while not necessary and is easily missable, makes hardcore fans of the comics insanely happy to see. One of the best parts of the movie is the alternate New Yorks in the film, and they are loaded with little hidden Easter eggs and references all over the place. One of my favorite Easter eggs is the poster of Seth Rogen for a film called Hold Your Horses. And one of the biggest differences between New York E1610 is that their baseball team is actually the Red Sox and not the Yankees, and that their best player is in fact Blake Griffin, who of course is an NBA player in real life. Pretty cheeky, but again, another small detail that I absolutely loved. We also see a poster of Steph Curry as a golfer and a parody of the Blue Man Group called the Red Man Group. Again, these absolutely details are amazing, and there's loads and loads of them. I'm sure I missed a ton of them in this scene, but these are the ones that I picked up on and I loved them. Another pretty cool instance of foreshadowing in the movie is the clues leading up to the reveal that Olivia is actually Doc Ock. There are dozens of clues, like that her glasses are octagon shaped. And the same with the lights in her office, and a lot of other shapes in that office are all octagons. But the biggest giveaway that she was Doc Ock was actually she had a Doc Ock arm sitting on her desk in the background while they were trying to do the computer thing. You may have not noticed that, but I did, and I thought it was pretty cool. Later in the film, one of the best parts of the movie is when they see Aunt May's house and they go to the underground secret lair, and it's full of awesomeness, like the Spider-Man Dune buggy from the 70s comics and the toy line. Pretty cool there, but the best part of that scene was easily the spider suits, the big line of them. He had so many cool ones here. Some of the ones that I personally recognize, we can see the Iron Spider from the Civil War comics. It's got that like red and yellow on it. Next to that, we see the Spider-Man armor MK2, which is actually designed to stop bullets for a weird period of time where Peter lost his spider senses in one of the comics. Next to that, we also see the big time stealth suit and the Secret Wars suit. Those are pretty badass looking. Then there's the suit with the cape that Miles points out, which appears to be a reference to the suit Spider-Man wore in the What If series of comics, where he's actually a TV star. And finally, the last suit that I recognized was the one with the white logo, which is from the recent PlayStation 4 video game. Pretty cool stuff here. I love all of those nods. I wasn't able to recognize all of the suits, so if you guys picked up on some of the ones I missed, please let me know down in the comments. Then again, later we see Miles' father try to call him, and again it goes through his contacts in his phone, which is again filled with references. D. Cowan is referring to Dennis Cowan, who is a famous comic book artist. C. McKenna is referring to Chris McKenna, who is a screenwriter who worked on the Spider-Man Homecoming. We also see T. McFarlane, which is obviously referring to Todd McFarlane, which is a very famous Spider-Man comic artist. And finally, we see Steve Ditko, who was the co-creator of the Spider-Man character along with Stan Lee. Again, this movie was simply amazing, and I'm not selling it short by saying it might be the best Spider-Man film ever made. And as you guys can see, it's blasted full of hidden details and Easter eggs that the content creators threw in, and there's so many of them. I'm sure I missed literally hundreds and hundreds of them. Things that I missed that you may have caught, please let me know down in the comments if I missed anything that you guys found or figured out. I'd love to know what you guys found. Anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, subscribe for more videos like this in your sub boxes daily. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.